Bookish friends, welcome to Read with Friends, another day, another book video. I am so happy you're here today. I just want to share what I have been doing lately. So I have been reading mystery, suspense, thriller books, and after reading those books for a week, I feel like diving into reading gut-wrenching books that will hurt me the most. I decided to do a theme reading vlog. I am going to read sad, tearjerker, and soul-crushing books in a week. I am trying to remember the last time I ugly cried over a book. I think that was last year when I read Back of the Moon by Christine Higgins. I loved it and I bawled my eyes out reading that book. Anyway, I am so ready to break my heart into pieces. I am so ready to get hurt. I am so ready to let books rip my heart out and leave me empty. Hopefully, the books that I will read would chop my heart and leave it lying in pieces on the floor for me to clean up. I know you think I'm crazy, sounds like I'm a masochist, but I'm not. Just for books, and I only allow books to hurt me. Since I am nice and I don't want to be the only one who is sobbing, at the end of this video, I am going to share and recommend the best sad books for you all to read. First up, I am going to read The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros. I haven't read any books from Rebecca Yarros, but I've heard so many good things about Fourth Wing, Iron Flames, and so much more. And this is gonna be the first time I'm going to read her work. So I am so excited, and let's find out if I am going to ugly cry over this book. Okay, so I just finished chapter 4 and I don't know what to say. I didn't expect that. Sobrang na-shocked ako kasi hindi ko talaga ina-expect na ganun agad yung mangyayari kasi sobrang bilis. Sobrang bilis. I can't tell you exactly what happened dahil may spoil ko kayo. But yeah, so far, I like the story. And ito pa lang yung nababasa ko. Sobrang konti pa lang. Right now, yung nafe-feel ko, medyo mabigat na. And I am very curious to know what will happen moving forward. I'll be back and give you an update.
Rebecca, you can't go around. Is it Zendaya or Zendaya?
Zendaya?
That's what I thought, but my granddaughter told me it is Zendaya.
What do you know?
Now to the work-related question. What are you doing for the next 12?
I already finished reading this book and it's already 1 a.m. I don't think na kaya ko pang magbigay ng insights or my thoughts about this. I'm just gonna give my review tomorrow morning. Finally, I finished the first sad book. This book is a military romance. It's my first time reading this kind of story, and it follows the story of Ella and Mac. Ella and Mac, they're siblings. Ella is a single mother of twins while Mac is in military. And then si Mac, meron siyang best friend who's also in military, whose name is Beckett. Back to Ella, I mentioned that she has twins that she's trying to raise on her own, all alone, while trying to keep her family's B&B afloat. So her brother Mac connects her with Beckett to be pen pals as a way of helping both of them with their loneliness. But then, Ella's brother didn't make it, and his last request to Beckett is to go home and see his sister. So yun yung premise ng story. And all I can say is this book is unpredictable. I felt so many emotions reading this. I laughed, I swooned, I got shocked. Felt so many emotions reading this. When I was reading the first few chapters, I was just teary-eyed on some parts, but it wasn't totally gut-wrenching. Not until I reached the 80% of the book that I sobbed and my tears just kept flowing. The romance in this book is so good. It was slow but perfect. I'm not really a fan of slow burn romance, but this one is different. You will really want the both of them to kiss and make out already. And as I've mentioned, it was unpredictable dahil hindi ko talaga ine-expect na ganun yung mangyayari sa last 30% pages ng book. That's why I struggled to sleep just a little bit last night. Dahil hindi ako makamove on sa nangyari. I wasn't expecting the plot twist. And to wrap this up, this is indeed an emotional read and a beautiful story of love and family. There's one thing that I learned from this book is to don't forget to express or show your love or appreciation to your loved ones, because you never know when you could lose someone so close to you. So cherish the people you love, because at any moment anything could happen. Alright, moving on, I am going to read the next sad book, which is Only Love Can Hurt Like This by Page 2. But in the meantime, I need to prepare, and I'll probably read this after my errand. I am currently in a studio and I'm about to do my vocal training, but since I am still waiting for coach, I just brought my second sad book. I started reading the prologue, and girl, prologue pa lang, nakakasakit na ng puso. I don't think that I will be able to read this book long enough right now, so later on, once na nakauwi na ako, I am going to give you an update. have finished reading this book. So this book is about Ren, who's an architect and accidentally saw her fiancé Scott with a working colleague while she was wandering during her break. Scott and his working colleague were sitting together on a bench. They were not doing anything wrong. They were just staring at each other. But Ren felt there's a meaning behind those looks. Like there's something deep by the way they look at each other's eyes. Scott confessed that he has fallen in love with his working colleague, so Scott and Ren ended the relationship just like that. So after that breakup, Ren's mother suggested that Ren should take a vacation outside the country so she can have some space. So Ren decided to visit her dad in the US, where she lives with a woman he left her mom for and their daughter. There she met Anders, whom she starts having romantic feelings for but can't pursue because Anders was still grieving with the loss of his wife. All I can say about this book is it is devastating at some parts, and I even started crying during some of the chapters and made me sing and listen to Paloma Faith's song Only Love Can Hurt Like This while feeling the pain of the two main characters. I love how the story doesn't only focus about love but also tackles family and belongingness, and I just have to mention that I am so satisfied with the ending, and it is just a perfect way to end the book. I am going to rate this book 4 stars, and my tier rating is gonna be 4 as well. Also, I forgot to rate the first book that I read, which is The Last Letter. So my rating for that one is 4 stars, while my tier rating is 3.5. I have decided that my next sad book is gonna be If He Had Been With Me by Laura Nolan, and I've read all of the reviews on Goodreads, and most of the reviews that I've read were they cried so much, it was heartbreaking. So yeah, that's what made me decide to pick this up and devour this one now. Guys, I finished this book in one sitting. If He Had Been With Me by Laura Nolan is about Finny and Autumn, who were childhood best friends, and it's a typical both of their mothers were best friends too and got pregnant at the same time, hence Finny and Autumn became best friends as well. They just grew apart when Finny kissed Autumn when they were 13, and Autumn misinterprets that kiss. Years later, they got back together, they started talking again, they started hanging out again, and both realized they have mutual feelings for each other. When I read the first chapter, I already know that this book is bad news in the sense that it will really shatter my heart. This book destroyed me. I didn't sob as much as I'm expecting myself to, but when I reached the last few chapters, it felt like someone has hit my heart with an arrow and spiked it deeper. And if this book had another title, it could be What If? Like, what if the last 4 years had gone a different way? Like, what will happen? Even though chapter 1 already gave the ending, I'm still not ready for it. This, my friends, is beautifully written and indeed a very sad book. My only prayer for this book the entire time I was reading it, that it was all a joke. Swear. I am going to rate this 5 stars, and my tier rating is 3.5. When I was reading this book, I am so curious about Finn's point of view. That's why after reading this book, I decided to read the second book, which is If Only I Had Told Her. So this was released year 2013, while this one was recently released just this year, February 2024. So this one is just very recent, and this book is about Finn's POV and Jack's POV. Jack is Finn's another best friend, and it also includes Autumn's life in the future. It's already late and I have to sleep now, but I decided that my last sad book will be A Thousand Boy Kisses by Tilly Cole. I am done reading this book, and it has the same vibe with If You Had Been With Me. Like, two best friends started off as friends and then became lovers. So Poppy and Rune, they were childhood best friends since they were 5. Rune was originally from Norway. His family moved to Georgia, USA, where he met Poppy, who just resides next to their house. And they were just playmates until they became best friends, and then they became lovers. Yes, so it just really had the same vibe with If You Had Been With Me. Until one day, Rune's family needs to go back to Norway temporarily, and it was really hard for Rune and Poppy because they were inseparable. But that happened until one day Poppy just got their communication and Rune doesn't know why. So Rune was really heartbroken. He rebelled and he was not the same guy anymore. Years had passed. Rune's family moved to the US again. Same house, same neighborhood. That was the time where Rune learned the reason why Poppy cut their communication, and it was so heartbreaking. All I can say is that I seriously have no words after I finished reading the book. I am so heartbroken. When I was reading the first chapter, at first I was like, okay, it has the same vibe with If You Had Been With Me. For me, this was a cliched childhood friends to lovers kind of story. And as I went along through the book, it became somewhat predictable for me. But the thing is, even though it was predictable, this one is the book that I cried the hardest. And knowing what happened to the story, I was like, why? And I was at the part where I can't say what it is because spoiler, I was about to cry, but I tried to keep myself together because I was in Starbucks and there were a few people. So I have to stop reading, go home, then continue reading again, and let my tears continue to fall. And don't start me with the ending. I know I've said that it is a little bit predictable, but the ending got me. I was shocked and it was so unexpected. I just love Poppy and Rune's love story. They love the hardest and they're not even in their 20s yet. They're just 17 for Pete's sake. it was true love and they were soulmates. Their love for each other is the kind of love that you would want for yourself to experience and to have. Someone who won't give up on you in difficult times, someone who loves you unwaveringly, and someone who keeps their promise. And what makes the book beautiful is it is not about being in love or being loved by the opposite sex. It is also about family, about life, and this book just changed me the way I look at life. This book is beautifully written and has left me in happy tears even though it still hurts. To sum it up, this book is as special can be. So I am going to rate this 5/5 stars, and my tear rating is 5/5 teardrops. So that's it. I completed my goal to read sad books in a week, and the sad books that I recommend the most, or it'd be If You Had Been With Me by Laura Nolan and 1,000 Boy Kisses by Tilly Cole. So that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking time to watch my book vlog. Also, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. You can also share this video, and if you have any sad books recommendation, just leave it in the comments so I can check it and read it, of course, because I am planning to do another sad book vlog in the future. Hope you have a great week ahead. Stay tuned for more book videos, and remember, let's keep reading because reading is fundamental.